Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Law-Splaining the Interwebs. I am your host, Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, a small law firm in central Minnesota. And, you know, we've got some stuff to discuss today. First off, let me address yesterday. Very important things to talk about as far as yesterday goes. Yesterday was a whiskey review stream, and those get a little bit wild, okay? Those get a little bit wild, so we got to discuss that for just a moment. I feel like there's something I need to address. Sometimes in the whiskey streams, like I said, things happen. Look, things happen. Mistakes can be made. Adjustments may need to be acknowledged and addressed, but the whiskey is it's entirely someone else's fault. So we're gonna address something real quick on that, and that's this. I have to apologize for something. I should not have eaten on stream. I know in my balls that I shouldn't eat on stream. Look, I know. But that's just how it goes. That's the way of the whiskey stream. So I do apologize for the mukbang whiskey review. It's just, what do you do? What do you do? So anyway, thanks for those who hung out. I do not have food to eat on stream today. Actually, since I finished the popcorn, that was the only nearby food. But know that I suffered for that. For you. I have no other apologies to make about that stream. Thought it was magical. It's fantastic. The Wayne Gretzky whiskey is garbage. Hot garbage. Oh boy. Just disgusting. I am not proud of it. I'm gonna drink more of it tonight. Of course. We've got a liter of it to get through. But yeah. So that's that. But tonight it's time for another episode, whatever, of Ronversations. Yes, and you'll see what I have to suffer through for you guys. I do this only for you. It's mildly infuriating. Who am I kidding? It's extremely infuriating to talk to Ron Toye. Okay, so know that I do that for you. And I mean, for me a little bit, but mostly for you, because I want to bring you guys the reality that these people live in. I think that's important to find, is that reality. It's because it's a mess. Okay, here we go. Where are we? Was this it? Oh, here we go. I'm trying to find, let's see. I'm finding where we left off, and I think it was here. Yeah, here we go. Here's where we left off in the Ronversations, so we will get back to that in a little bit. I want to give people a little more time to filter in. This is it's one of the subjects that people really seem to gravitate towards. What I'm really looking for is I'm trying to find a professional opinion on this guy's behavior, because it is mind-blowing. It is mind-blowing to see him keep coming back to talk. I don't know what his compulsion is. I don't know why. But I want a psychiatrist to look at it because I don't understand. So, he blocked me. I've been unblocked. I was unblocked. Let's see, a couple times. The last thing you'll remember was on February 9th, was the last message I received. He said something about listening to the audio of his deposition with the volume enhanced on Ty. Literally zoom and enhance on the volume on Ty. Man, it's awesome having receipts. All your lies and manipulations are unraveling. I still don't know what this idiot's talking about. I have no idea. No idea. But that was the last message he sent me, and then I sent a response. What kind of weird, nonsense are you blabbering about now? And then I was blocked. And then he sent me another message, which is just an emoji. And I'll show you. And then I got, I sent him a couple things and I got blocked again. So, but now I'm unblocked, and we will be going through it. But let's get a couple of these super chats out of the way. We've got the Pie Baker says it's dangerous to do a Ronversation with too much blood in your alcohol system. Here, take this. Oh boy. Thank you, good sir. Oh hey, hey Ty. Welcome to the show. We'll have to get started because I don't know how long Ty can hang around. I'm sure he wants to see some of this. Ty, if you don't know, because I know you've been very busy, these are messages, direct messages that Ron Toye has sent me on Twitter for God knows what reason. For God knows what reason. And he hasn't figured out, I guess, what I do with the messages or why I talk to him. But, he could send a message during the stream. That is entirely possible. We'll see. That's disgusting, Ty. Okay, couple super chats, and then we're gonna get right into. Oh, by the way, I also got this gift from Kitchener. This is a humble Kiwi farmer. So there was a Kiwi farm at the Comic-Con. This was a humble Kiwi farmer that was bestowed upon me to trust, and I will make sure he is safe to watch the world. I also do have another piece of the Kiwi farm, but Lady Racket stole it, so I have to go find it. The other thing, so apparently Encyclopedia Dramatica is back up from what I've heard, and I don't know if you guys are privy to the story of Encyclopedia Dramatica, but like the site admin went to jail or something and didn't tell anyone the password, and it was a big mess. But now it's apparently back, and I'm thinking of having Odd Guy on to talk about it. I don't know. I like Odd Guy. I don't know if you guys do. Easy peasy. He's great. But yeah, I'm thinking of having him back on. We'll see. I like that guy. So well, I'll reach out to him and see if there's a good subject we could talk about. All right. Nixx says re-listening to the LOL suit required listening for all knickers at work. Headphones were unplugged when I hit play in the middle of a stream, and the word orangutan came out of my speakers, audible to adjacent offices. Oh man, that was That was that was good times. It was good times. Things were so simple back then. Commander Cindy says, "Hello, sir. I'm the English prof that asked you whether I might have a place in law. Joyously, I have had 8 offers and scholarships. Thank you for inspiring me to pursue a vocation that can enable me to offer the help I couldn't as a professor." Wow. Congratulations. Good job. Doing better than anybody I've ever heard of. 8 scholarships. Good job. All right. And finally, the infamous GS says, 1, I just DM'd you everything you need to know about Animat. So you're all set in regards to him. Oh, everything I wanted in life to learn about a weird, disgusting meat sack. Oh yeah, Ty. I don't think Ty has. Ty, did you see this? This is a universal remote, Mr. Tybeard, and it has a special button on it. I'm gonna kill a judge's kid. Turn up your speakers if you have to. Hold on. I'm gonna kill a judge's kid. So hopefully you were able to hear that. It's the Wife Beater 5000. So there you go. And number two says, can confirm that the hardcore wrestler Wife Beater is more of a man than Ron. Oh no. Oh no. This Ron is such an interesting little creature. And I assume we'll get to the end of the conversations today, or Ronversation today. I think this show will fill out with the time. I think we'll get to the end, but it's pretty cringy. It's pretty cringy. So, with that, I think we should go ahead and get started, I guess. Let's see. I might not have this centered. Just a second. Okay, I gotta fix that. One moment. Okay. Can we get that? Oh, that's a little bit better. Yeah. There we go. All right. So this is the weird thing that I was talking about, where he says, have I listened to the audio of his deposition with the volume enhanced on Ty? So again, zoom and enhance. Man, it's awesome having receipts. All your lies and manipulations are unraveling. Here's the best part. There's a simple method to all of this. If you just tell the truth, nothing can actually unravel. It's really quite amazing and liberating. I strongly recommend it. The problem in this world, and this is true, this is a legit thing that I do believe is an actual problem. The problem in this world is it's often hard to tell the truth, and telling the truth can get you in more trouble than lies in many isolated situations. It's a difficult thing to do, and not everybody has the freedom to do it. As weird as that sounds, you should always be free to tell the truth. You should always be free to tell the truth, but not everybody is. Fortunately, I am. I am free to tell the truth. I have no reason to lie about any of this stuff, because telling the truth is funnier. That's the best part. It's funnier to have the truth come out, because this cast of characters is so ludicrous, you couldn't write them with lies. You'd never get there. No one would believe you. No one would believe you at all. So, all right. Let's see. How do we get started here? Ty found something that I think I like less than Jack Daniels. So that's this 99 proof Wayne Gretzky Canadian whiskey. We had a good deal of this yesterday. All right. Take a little sip here. And let's go on. So this is for you, chat. This is what I go through. So I responded, what kind of weird nonsense are you blabbering about now? He brings it up. I respond, and then he blocks me and doesn't talk to me for 9 days. And then all I get is a wink face. Here I am. My curiosity is piqued. I want to know what this moron thinks he heard, and he doesn't even tell me. So I'm happy, right? I'm happy back on February 18th. This is a while back. Oh, welcome back. He responds with a heart. That was depressing. So then, me, now that you're temporarily done running away from an issue you can't control, probably go back to therapy, right? This is me talking to him about, whoop. I kicked over my fan. This is me talking about him blocking me after, I guess, not getting the answers he wanted, right? And he really does need to go back to therapy. Why don't you start by talking about how you said you guys were going to sue Vic and then rationalize that with blaming me for you being sued, right? I guess Ron forgets in this grand timeline that he said that if Vic didn't take them to court, he was going to take Vic to court. What for? No one can figure that out. But that was the public statement. So again, somehow this lawsuit is my fault. I also don't... Ron doesn't listen. And you'll learn this as we go through. This becomes more and more apparent. Ron can't read and doesn't listen. Because, as stated before I referred Vic to Ty, before any of that stuff had happened, Vic had already hired a lawyer. Vic already hired a lawyer to pursue this. And then decided to change legal representation to Ty on his own, by the way. I was not in Texas when that decision was made. I didn't force a gun against his temple and say, you better pick Ty. I didn't do any of that. I couldn't do anything to force anybody in any way. I made a referral, as I do for many people. That's part of what I do. I made a referral just what, a couple days ago while I was up in Canada. Someone called me and I made a referral. I think I was in the airport. Where was I? Yeah, because I was like, oh, I've got 10 minutes. I'll answer a phone call from a number I don't recognize. And then ended up referring a friend of mine in the Twin Cities to this person. So there you go. All right. And then he responded to that with a smiley crying face. And then notice the gap. Certainly bigger than Monica's thigh gap, because that is negative infinity. February 18th to February 26th. Again, he blocked me. I don't know. I can't force him to talk, but I don't send him stuff. He sends me stuff. So in February 26th, he sends me a smiley emoji. Thank God. Then Friday, he comes in with the hot bants. I don't know what made him, I do know, but I don't know if you noticed this, but anytime that there's something going on with Vic or me, Ron decides to initiate conversation. It's almost like he's uncomfortable that other people are doing things. And so he has to intervene in some way. So Friday, I was on my way up to Kitchener Comic Con, and Ron messages me. I'm in the airport at this time, and he messages me. So, obviously I have to respond. I have to do this. He said, I wanted to help you out, so here's a link to search for jobs, minnesotajobs.com. Oh, joke's on you, cuckold. I've heard of that site before. Sometimes people are just not cut out for certain things. Unfortunately for you, being a lawyer isn't what you are cut out for, or journalism. And Ron, writing is certainly outside of your repertoire, because it would be cut out. That would be 2 words. You got it right before. I'm not a cutout. That would be a noun. Cut out for or journalism is just bad syntax in that respect. But you know, you do you, fam. What's great is I'm making more money as a lawyer and journalist than Ron makes doing whatever he does. So I think I'm okay. I think I'm doing okay as far as careers go. But, you know, at some point, people do need to change careers, and I'm sure there will come a time in the future when I need to do something else. But I have used MinnesotaJobs.com in the past, and it is a dumpster fire of a website. Here's a link to a site that might help you identify a new option. What career is right for me.com. Okay. Yeah. All right. Ron, insult comic is definitely far from your repertoire, but why don't you explain that duality? You claim now that Q. Stupid phones. I think I actually physically dropped my phone while typing here, and that's what happened. You wanted to help Vic, but at the same time, before I ever even mentioned him, you were telling people you would fight that mother effer. Why are you lying? And yes, Ron was telling people that he would physically assault Vic. Okay? This isn't just his public Twitter. I put it in quotes because that's what Ron said. Now, remember, this lying little snake wants the world now to believe that he was always on Vic's side. He was always on Vic's side, and all Vic had to do was apologize, which he did, promise to do better, which he did, and that would be enough. Take some time and go ahead. That's it. Vic actually had done those things, and after Vic did those things, after he apologized and promised to work on himself, even though he didn't admit to doing what Ron was saying, but he did say that had lost his way a bit, and he made his public statements and promised to go work on himself. So the 2 things that Ron now says Vic had to do, Vic had already done. And after he had done that, and before I said anything about the case, I didn't even know anything was going on, before anything was even public from Funimation, Ron was out there messaging people, telling them that he would fight that MFer. That's what Ron was doing. Because Ron's a liar. There's no other way to put it. Ron is a liar, and he's now trying to rewrite history to suit his needs. And maybe someday I'll get permission to release where those messages came from, but for now I don't. I don't have permission to do so, and I'm not feeling like burning any bridges today. But just know that I have the receipts too, Ron. I have the receipts too. And the only reason I'm not releasing this one is just out of courtesy to who sent it to me. But Ron, you've been lying since you said Monica didn't ruin Todd Habercorn's panel at AzumiCon, and you never sued me for that. Remember? The one you threatened to sue me for? Sucks having the receipts. Something you're going to say over and over, even though you've never shown any. Not a single receipt has come out of you. I've actually got them. All right. Oh, God. See look at this. This is what I have to deal with. I only read part of this because I get kind of tired and I'd rather read it with you guys. Let me help paint you a picture. Imagine a man hurt your partner and some of your close friends. How would you feel? Would you want to be best friends with him? equals first half of the dichotomy. There's a thing, Ron. It's called... I don't know how to explain this. Ron doesn't understand what he's doing here. He doesn't understand that he is rewriting his present sense onto what was going on when the lawsuit was pending, right? That's what he's doing now. Ron believes he's won the lawsuit, and he is convinced thoroughly that he will prevail ultimately in the end as well, which he may. I mean, that's possible. I hope not, but it's certainly possible that Vic loses on appeal. That's always been in the cards. Always, always, always. But Ron is trying to rewrite how he felt back in February, March, and April of last year with how he feels now. Now it's really easy. It's really easy for him to say, well, I would have helped Vic, but. And the interesting part of the but is, but someone who is not Vic came out online and said things I don't like, so now I don't like Vic now. Now I'm justified in not liking Vic, which is dumb. This is quintessentially stupid. But that's Ron's logic, and now he's very comfortable saying, I would have helped out Vic, but for Nick Rekieta. Therefore, everybody else must also blame Nick Rekieta. This is Ron's logic. I figured this out. I figured it out, and I wanted to share it with you. That's why we're talking through this. But that's how he's processing this now. This is unhealthy. This is unhealthy. If you've ever met a compulsive liar, they're a person who lies so frequently that they even convince themselves of the lie and rewrite history to match up to their version of the story. I have family members who are like this, and you can listen to things you were there for. Like, I was at this event, and they will retell the event, and it'll be vastly different than what occurred. But it makes sense for how they view what happened or who was there and stuff like that. This is how Ron operates. It's really a terrifying proposition because these people are always justified. They are always able to justify their actions by the context of some story. Mongo5817 says, Ron is clearly getting ignored by Monica. Whoa. She hasn't even clucked him in weeks. So he goes to the only place that clucks him the best, a Ronversation stream. Well, there we go. Okay, so then after processing the anger, you can see that there is a human who is hurting and scared. No, Ron, maybe they have a problem with EQ. That's emotional, that's their emotional intelligence, right? Their emotional quotient. Ugh. So they failed to identify how their actions impacted others. What would you do? Equals second half of the dichotomy. Ron, what I would do is nothing like what you would do. I would handle it like a mature adult, which is not to go online and lie about them hundreds of times, right? That's not how I would do it. I also wouldn't go after their job or anything like that. There are all sorts of ways for dealing with this, but the most important person in this equation, Ron, is actually you. It's you who's important in the equation of how you deal with things. It's not Vic. It's not how you deal with Vic. It's certainly, like, you have no obligation to deal with Vic. And by the way, we all know that Monica doesn't care about what happened to her back in 2007, whatever the truth may be. You know how we know she doesn't care? Because she never cared. If her version of the story is true, this is a big stretch, but even if her version of the story is true, she went back to his room that night, according to her, of her own free will. And then she spent the next 12 years being friends with this person. She wasn't hurt or traumatized at all. This is the problem with the story, Ron, is that there was no hurt or trauma. It wasn't there. Why do you think Monica never told you about it? She doesn't tell you anything, though. Probably because you're not a safe person to talk to. But she never told you because it wasn't a big deal. Whatever transpired between Vic and Monica in 2007 is not what Monica said, because if that had happened, she wouldn't have reacted the way she did. And you know how we know she wouldn't have? Because of how she's acting now. It's pretty simple. People don't just radically change how they react to trauma. Trauma isn't a voluntary thing. You don't get to like, well, I'm going to react to trauma in this way. That's what makes it trauma, right? A traumatic event is something that gets outside of your normal reactive behaviors. So if Monica were truly traumatized, as she claims to be, her behavior would have been vastly different than what it was. Because her behavior was that of someone who did not experience trauma in any sense. And her behavior now, again, it's a vast, radical shift from what she was already doing, which means she either experienced a new trauma, which actually is possible, and may have come from you, for all we know. You're a dangerous, sniveling little monster. But she either had to experience a new trauma or she lied because her normative behavior changed dramatically. That normative behavior was being friends with and hanging out with someone who allegedly abused her. And to willfully and constantly do that, and not only to just hang out with him, but to apparently be a person of trust and confidence with him, right? Like Vic was Monica's friend, not just co-worker, friend, good friend. He even said on the stand at the fee hearing that when all this started to happen, he went to call Monica because that's the person that he would talk these things through with. He would call her. You don't just suddenly change unless something happens or unless you're lying, right? You make a conscious decision or you engage in something. Like it doesn't make sense. The timeline doesn't make sense. Nothing makes sense. And the way Monica is acting now and has been, and how she responded to the rather mild pushback she got initially of, whoa, this doesn't make any sense. Like, threatening to call Homeland Security on people and actually calling Homeland Security on people. Let's not forget she actually did that. That's how she reacted to some traumatic event, right? Threats and all of that stuff. That's how she reacted. How she reacted with whatever happened in 2007 was not like someone who was under pressure or stress or fight or flight. None of that occurred. So sorry to armchair psychology this, but this is the problem they have with your story, Ron and Monica. No one believes you because you don't act consistent with what you say happened. But anyway, because I sympathize with the people hurting, that makes me angry. And because I sympathize with him hurting, I want to see him get better. His fans deserve him at his best. Ron, you and Monica tried to remove him from his fans. You decided that his fans didn't deserve him at all. That's reality. There was no fans deserving him at his best. You decided his fans don't get him. No one gets him. He needs to die in a gutter. That's what you decided. You have accused me of lying a few times, yet provide zero examples of me actually lying. No, Ron! You lied about AzumiCon. You lied about it. And you know you lied about it. That's the worst part. You lied about me. You threatened to sue me. Like an idiot, you threatened to sue me, assuming I couldn't prove what I was saying. Oh, buddy. I can always prove what I'm saying. But there's plenty of examples of you lying. You're lying all throughout these messages. Tons and tons of lies about how you were dealing with this. How you were processing this. You lied about Kamea-con. You lied about interfering with Vic. You lied in your affidavit about Kamea-con. Of course you did. We can see your texts, Ron. I have multiple examples of your lies. Find one. Find one. Was I wrong about something? Maybe somewhere. Sure, a couple times. I don't think any facts about this case or anything like that. No. Wrong about what might happen or wrong in a prediction? Sure. Absolutely. But wrong? Lying? Why do you feel you have to lie or manipulate? Oh, I don't. That's the funny thing. Ron, I'm not... Well, I might be manipulating you. But I'm not reaching out to you. You're reaching out to me. You're trying to manipulate me and other people who will see this. That's obvious. But I don't have to lie or manipulate. That's the beauty of it. The scary thing is you've never considered that I'm telling the truth. So that's great. The Blazing Gamer says, on Twit, I saw a thread talking about how Vic was let go from Funny as it was an at-will state. But is it odd that the investigation was made such a big deal? I've seen people let go for far less. Yeah, that's the problem with every Funimation statement. You nailed it right there. That all they had to do was say nothing. All they had to do, all Funimation had to do in the entire world was not anything. They didn't have to fire Vic because of the way their contracts work. They just didn't have to have him for a role ever again. His contract could expire. They could not renew it. They could literally do nothing. And it would have been fine. They could have fired him actively like they did and then said nothing publicly like they started to do. And it would have been fine. You nailed it. The investigation was no big... They didn't need an investigation. They can just fire him. What's he going to do? But they did the investigation, and then they said things about the investigation to leave the implication that there was a reason. Because they knew if they just fired Vic, even if they did it quietly, people would eventually notice, it would leak out, and they wanted to say something because they wanted to be woke. As always, they needed to be woke. Perception Check says, when this stuff blew up, the thing that gave me a lot of pause was that I personally saw how chummy and close Vic and Monica were at Anime Crossroads 2011, including between panels and signings. Something didn't add up. Of course it does. It doesn't add up because it's all a lie. I still have my theory. Here you go. I cannot prove this. I don't have receipts on this. This is not a statement of fact. This is a theory. All right? It's based on some facts. It's based on some facts like Monica doesn't tell Ron anything. That's pretty obvious. Okay? Ron found out that something friendly happened between Vic and Monica back in 2007. Whatever convention that was with Stan Dolan, right? The one Monica's talking about. And the reason this is my theory is because this crap happens all the time. You want to find out where false rape accusations come from? Read any story about a false rape that gets proven to be false, right? False accusation. And it goes like this. This is why black people were lynched, by the way. The exact same reason here, okay? Ron is Angry white man. Vic is black man. If we're going back into To Kill a Mockingbird days. All right? Monica and Vic have some sort of encounter. Whatever that looks like. I don't want to think of Monica in that way ever, because that's just disgusting. But Monica and Vic have something back in 2007. Maybe she was hotter then. I don't know. I don't care. Monica never tells Ron about it. Never. Because she doesn't tell him anything. Remember, that was one of the funniest part of her depositions is I tell Ron everything, and then there's like 3 things in a row. Well, Ron and I never discussed that. Well, I never told Ron that. Well, I never told... It's like, you don't really tell him anything, do you? Oh my God, poor sap. Ron finds out about it somehow. Who knows? Maybe a friend tells him. They're sharing drinking stories or whatever. Ron goes off the deep end in jealousy that Vic and Monica had some sort of fling. Because Ron maybe doesn't like Vic or whatever. Who knows? I don't know why. I think he's also just insecure. I mean, look at him. Look at him. His chin retreats harder than the French. It's crazy. So he's probably just generally jealous of Vic. He goes off the deep end. He grabs the remote. You lying bitch. Right? Right? Okay, so he goes off the deep end. He gets out the mute maker. In Game of Thrones, everyone names their sword, right? Ron's like, I dubbed thee mute maker. This'll shut that lady up, right? And he goes off. And Monica says, well, no, it actually wasn't, it was this thing. He forced himself on me. This is how these stories go. This is how these stories go. So then he goes off on a tirade. This is my theory. But, all right, catch you later, Ty. This is my theory on something to explain Ron's behavior, because Ron is he's clearly not a well-adjusted human, but his response to this is insanity. It's actually crazy. 350 tweets, specifically inflammatory tweets about Vic in a very short period of time. More than that total. Way outside of his Twitter habits normally. He lost his damn mind. And he went crazy about it. And that's where Ron's whole issues came in. I don't know if that's true. I would put money on that being true. Anyway, I know you need content, so you want there to be drama. No! I had literally never heard of any of you people. Never. I was just coming back from the Knoxville knockout crew, the Knoxville knockouts that never occurred, because Ron, there's plenty of drama in the world. There's plenty of lawsuits on Earth. I don't need you for content. I never did. You guys decided to be exceptional on the internet in a place where a bunch of people wanted to know what was happening. You guys made this. I didn't. I could have never predicted any of this happening because I had never even heard of you people, including Vic. Including it. Want there to be drama? There's always drama somewhere, Ron. And no, I don't actually like focusing on drama. I'd rather just talk about funny, interesting legal stuff. Oh boy. But it seems sad at this point because you are consistently wrong. Am I? That's weird. I don't think I've been wrong yet, but you have professionals with years of experience with defamation lawsuits telling you what is up, but you ignore it. Who? Jay Woolman, the guy who lost Alex Jones's defamation lawsuit? Yay? Hey, good? He's not telling me what's up. They're telling me what they don't like about Ty's filing. What does that have to do with anything? I don't know. I don't think Ron is able to separate things here. Okay? Let me elucidate on this. There are two things going on, right? There's whatever happened, and then there's the lawsuit that's being conducted, okay? So, here's what happened, and here's where I am. Talking about what happened, talking about this lawsuit that's being conducted. But I'm not in the lawsuit, Ron. I don't write the documents. I don't come up with the legal theories. I can't do that work. I can't do it. I'm not licensed and I'm not hired and I don't have access to all of the people. I can't go get affidavits from people in Texas. I'm sort of 1,000 miles away. I can't write a document. I can't tell Vic what to do. Hell, I can't even tell Ty what to put in the filing because I'm not the Texas attorney. I don't know how in God's name you people are so stupid that you think that I am somehow responsible for what comes into the documents in the legal case. I can only watch. Actually, Ron, you have more input over that than me because you're a party to the suit. I can only watch and comment. So, that being said, they can talk about what's in the document all day. They're not telling me I didn't write the document. I can't edit it. All right? They could talk to Ty. In fact, early on, if you'll remember, Ty invited them to actually send constructive criticisms to his office. Not one of them did. Why? Why not? They're so concerned, right? They're so concerned. Not one of them reached out to Beard and Harris, not one of them, to actually do what they say they would. You know, they say they're very concerned about Vic. They say, oh, he had this bad representation. Not one of them actually put anything down on paper and sent it to them. No, they talked about stuff on Twitter, blah, blah, where it's very safe, right? None of them had to do anything that would end up getting scrutiny in court. And they shouldn't. They shouldn't. Let's be very clear. They shouldn't. They're not in the suit. They're not hired. And many, if not most of them, are not licensed to practice law in Texas. All we can do, me and them collectively, is sit and watch from the sidelines and talk about what's going on. All right? There are two things. And Ron cannot seem to separate these two things. By the way, Uncivil Law, I see you in the chat. I have seen your email. I'm going to respond to you. But know that I'm notoriously bad at responding to emails. In general, it's not personal. It's not personal at all. I do think we can have a conversation about something in the future. And I haven't watched your Viva Frey segment yet. A bunch of people have complained to me about it, which tells me it might be mildly interesting. So I will, but I'll get back to you. So I see you there, man. But anyway, here's the thing. You have professionals with years of experience in defamation lawsuits telling you what is up, but you ignore it. First of all, you have no idea how many of these professionals have any experience with defamation lawsuits outside of Jay Woolman and what? Maybe Haywood Law or Haygood Law or whatever his name is, Lane. That's it. Those are the only people who might be qualified to talk about this in Texas based on your assessment that they are professionals with years of experience in defamation lawsuits. Certainly not A. Park. That guy doesn't do defamation. That guy doesn't even practice. He works in a non legal job. You've got You've got Dunford. That guy doesn't practice. He has no experience in defamation lawsuits of any kind other than what he's read. Great. He's got opinions, and that's fine. These people can have opinions. Duchette, I mean, maybe if you're talking about bankruptcy law, he'd be good. I don't know. But you have no idea. What, Tyler Wolf? The weird Australian Geico-looking caveman guy? What does that guy know about defamation lawsuits in Texas? Akiva Cohen, the New York commercial lawyer? No idea about defamation lawsuits in Texas based on Ron's qualifications here, right? I don't believe that these qualifications are valid or legit. And neither does the state of Texas or Minnesota, by the way. None of them would hold that as any sort of standard that's required. Like you can be a first day lawyer just having passed the bar and going on your own and take a defamation lawsuit once you're licensed. In Minnesota or Texas, it's the same. You can do that. I just want everybody to be clear on that. That a lawyer who is licensed in either Texas or Minnesota, I can't speak to every state because I don't know about, various other states, but in Texas and Minnesota, the one where the case is and the one where I am, you can be a day one licensed attorney and take any case other than a patent case, because you have to take the patent bar if you want to practice in patents, and that's a separate thing. But you can take any other case. Capital murder case, you could take it. Defamation case, you could take it. Fraud case, you could take it. Whatever you want. Go ahead and do it. Because you're licensed to practice and therefore you are competent. So again, Ron doesn't seem to understand this. But anyway, why not be objective and listen? Because they weren't objective commentators, Ron. And also, I don't know if you know this, but lawyers disagree all the time. In damn near every case ever, at least two lawyers disagree with each other. That's their job, is to disagree, is to say this fact, this set of facts, or this portion of the law, or some combination thereof, are this way, and the other one says, no, it's this way. That's why we have lawyers. So the fact that people disagreed with some of the things I said, I don't care. There's nothing that they have done to make me respect what they do and listen to them. Not a single shred of it. And this guy is vastly overstating the experience and value of these lawyers. Like, honestly, it's amazing. It's amazing. Try and find a lawyer's record on what they've done. It's a difficult thing to do. Most people have to just rely on what the lawyer says and hope that the lawyer, who is bound to tell the truth, basically, for professional interactions, is actually doing so. But Ron has no idea. Ron hasn't pulled like a dossier of cases these people have practiced. He might have the lungless wonder to, I like this guy. That doesn't mean anything. Anyway, do you really think you know more about this than Jay? I think I definitely know more about Vic's situation than Jay Woolman. Yes, 1,000,000 times more. I have more access to the facts than Jay Woolman. 1,000,000%. I definitely do. One other thing. I've actually talked to Vic. Has Jay Woolman talked to a single party in this case? Any of them? Nah. Jay Woolman hasn't even read all the briefings. He admitted the other day that he hasn't read the appeal brief, which is fine. It's not really he's got other things going on. But yeah, do I think I know more about this than Jay? Yes, absolutely. 100%. Without a single fucking moment of hesitation, yes. And again, Ron, Jay Woolman lost every single thing he did in Alex Jones's Sandy Hook defamation lawsuit. Every single thing, including jurisdiction, venue, the motion to dismiss, he lost all of it. And when the depositions were coming, Alex Jones fired Jay Woolman because of his failures and hired someone else. Does that mean Jay Woolman's a bad lawyer? No. Does that mean Jay Woolman's a good lawyer? No. It doesn't mean anything about it. But the idea that Jay Woolman walks on water in defamation cases, oh my God. Here's a crazy braggadocious media personality reporting on news in a manner that is hard to tell if it's honest satire or parody, making some wild and outlandish statements, as he is wont to do, about a very public event. And Jay Woolman can't get that dismissed on First Amendment grounds. Why? Why couldn't he do it? Right? Why not? Why couldn't he win for Alex Jones? By rights, that's a winning case. Alex Jones is clearly in the media. He clearly has First Amendment protections. It's clearly a matter of public concern. It's clearly a public issue. He's commenting on the public issue. And he even retracted some of his statements later. I mean, it's teed off. Now, maybe the judge is wrong. By the way, I think the judge was wrong in relocating that to Connecticut. There's all sorts of weird stuff going on there. I got it. But Jay Woolman lost every single step of the way until Alex Jones had to fire him. Lawyers are just people. There's nothing special about them. Jay didn't do that case right. Okay, so, or the 90 or so lawyers who have accurately predicted the turnout of this lawsuit from the beginning. Okay, let me set the stage for you. 1,000 lawyers are in a room, and they all, some percentage, it doesn't even matter what the percentage is, pick that one side will win or the other. And then one side wins, and you go, ha! These guys all knew what they were talking about because they accurately predicted the outcome, and the other guys are idiots. No. That's not how that works. By the way, all of those idiots, all of those smart lawyers you've got, they're very closely ideologically linked. I don't know if you noticed, but many of them predicted that Nicholas Sandmann's case was absolutely in the dumpster. And they were completely wrong about that, including your attorney, Jay Sean Lemoyne, who was so happy when that case got dismissed. And then suddenly it wasn't quite dismissed, right? Lynn Wood turned it around on reconsideration. And then he got CNN to settle with Sandmann. Remember that? Your own attorney was happy to see Lynn Wood fail at the Sandmann thing. Lawyers are often wrong. Often wrong. It doesn't mean that they're incompetent or less competent or more competent. It just means that they made a prediction and it happened to go that way. It's honestly a coin toss. Because you don't know the human element. You can try and predict it, and some lawyers are better than others at doing that. They are. I still have actually a pretty good track record. But, all these people know about my commentary is the Vic stuff. And in the Vic stuff, it didn't go the way I hoped it would. That's okay. I'm still waiting for the appeals. But here we go. You're a free speech advocate, right? Yeah, absolutely. Why not listen and learn from the actual lawyers who are going to court to litigate on the subject? First of all, because many of them are idiots. That's why. Second of all, no, I'm just going to stick with the many of them are idiots. They're also ideologically driven, and their free speech principles hinge on the ideology behind the speech very often. Very often. And finally, there's only like 2 who actually do litigate on the subject. That's the crazy thing. There's only like 2 of the 90 lawyers. Most of those are law students. Or not even lawyers at all. Not even engaged in law. Like Catherine Tewson or whatever. The only thing she litigates is cake. Armchair quarterbacks can sound like they know what they are talking about. Oh my God! Listen to the realization that Ron just had, but he doesn't even understand. Ron doesn't even understand what he just said. That's the funniest line. I didn't see it before. Damn it! Armchair quarterbacks can sound like they know what they are talking about. You literally just listed 90 armchair quarterbacks. None of these people are actually going and litigating this. If we're talking about the people litigating this, I can listen to Jay Sean, Sam Johnson, John Volney, or I can listen to Ty, Onley, Carey, Bullock. That's it. Those are the people litigating this. That's it. Their respective teams. Everybody else, self-included, is an armchair quarterback. Oh my God, listen to this. I can't believe I didn't see this earlier. I get so bored reading his stuff. He just described Mike Dunford's entire life. But I bet you would agree getting tips from Tom Brady, Brett Favre, Drew Brees would be more valuable. That's not how lawyering works, you weirdo. There aren't actually lawyers who go to Super Bowls and win. That's not a thing. There's so many factors. You can have the best lawyer on the planet with the bad set of facts, and they'll lose. They'll still take the case. That's why lawyers don't actually do a scorekeeping thing. Now, defense lawyers and prosecutors might in their criminal cases, because it's a little bit different, especially prosecutors, because prosecutors actually kind of have to. They have to get convictions in high-value cases so that they can run for office, okay? That's how that works. And sometimes that office is a district attorney. So just so we're clear, I'm not always talking about Congress or anything here. But there isn't like some objective thing. There isn't some contest where it's like, oh, this lawyer went against this lawyer and won. It's all about so many other factors. And you can't just say, well, if he had a better lawyer, he would have won. Maybe not. It's not about the lawyer. Often it's about the lawyer just doing the job, and then it comes down to the facts. The facts, and those are more than the facts that get entered in the case. The facts, the people you're dealing with, everything involved there. Sometimes you can't get affidavits until the last second. Sometimes you don't hear about a specific direct message because someone doesn't send it to you until after everything's filed. Sometimes the people involved didn't hear about the suit. Stan Dolan, for example. Stan Dolan, when he provided his affidavit, he had been off of Twitter. He didn't even know what was going on. That's what he said when he came back. He's like, oh my God, I came back to Twitter and 2 of my friends are fighting. He had no idea. Here's a crucial witness. It just wasn't there. That's not bad lawyering. No one knew he existed until Monica started mentioning him. And I think maybe it's because of, like this show and other people looking at the documents and saying, who's this Stan Dolan guy? Where he suddenly comes out of the blue and is like, oh my God, what's going on? I don't know if you guys remember, but that was pretty close to filing time. That's pretty close to filing time when Stan Dolan's affidavit came out. He very easily could have just been on vacation for the next 3 weeks. That wouldn't have been bad lawyering. That would have been no one knew this guy existed or how to get a hold of him or that he would even talk. Anyway, sorry. The reason is that they have actual experience playing and preparing to play, not just observations. Oh, Ron, so do I. I guess he doesn't understand this. Ron, have you ever considered that I've dealt with defamation issues that just haven't gone to court because we settled them? Have you? You have considered, Ron. You have considered that I've dealt with defamation issues and we just deal with them outside of court, right? Like you've figured that out by now. I hope you understand that not every lawsuit goes to court. Maybe not. P.S. I haven't blocked you. That's all I got to say on that one. Oh my goodness. Sure, Cupcake. I have the screenshots when you run away because I'm disallowed from sending you messages. Not sure why you lie about that. You're already hiding in a protected mode hug box along with your very brave lawyer. Everyone knows you're a coward. The real mystery is why you consistently threaten and promise violence, then weasel back towards a pretend sympathy. Ron, your first response is violence. You need help. You're an abusive monster. I say this because I care. I care. How do you consistently profess to be better and feel you have a moral high ground? Hell, you even had your lungless idiot attempt to release my private information. You're a scumbag. Ron thinks I'm insulting him here, but I'm not. I'm not insulting him at all. Nick, do you hear yourself? Yes, Ron. I actually read my stuff out loud to make sure it sounds normal. It's a habit I got into when writing dialogue. It's one of the only good things one of the only things in writing I was ever good at was writing dialogue, because I would actually read it to make sure it sounded natural. It was all the other things in writing I was bad at. You're supposed to be a professional. No, I literally am a professional. I make money doing what I do. Both law and journalism. It's great. I get the occasional dig or eloquent slam, but you sink to name calling. Do we want to? Okay, let's roll back to 2 hours prior to this when Ron reaches out to me. I wanted to help you out, so here's a link to search for jobs. So he must think this is an eloquent slam, I guess. This is somehow above name calling, I guess. I don't know. But this is how he opened the conversation. I found this so frequently. I don't know if you guys run into this, but someone insults you and then they're mad when you mock or insult them back. Right? Like how dare you be so child? You literally open with an insult. That's like punching someone in the face and then being mad when they punch you back. What? Well, you didn't need to throw hands. You sink to name calling, vapid insults, and mockery when you know you are outmatched. Oh, Ron, I have never in my life been outmatched by you. Oh, imagine being this unself-aware. Remind me, who is on your show calling for the farms to make people's lives miserable as a personal favor? Hey, remind you, Ron, who said, hey, don't do that. Like, whoa, let's just chill out on that. Remember? Remember that? This is the thing. This is how they all work. They get to impute the actions of other people. This is their whole problem, right? Is that because I'm talking, they're mad at Vic. What the hell are you mad at Vic for? You're not mad. They're legitimately not mad at me. Look at Ron. Ron has been talking to me constantly, outside of a couple day gaps, for the better part of 2 months. Is Ron talking to Vic? No. Is Ron even reaching out to Vic? No. He's talking to me. They're mad at Vic because of what I say. This is the crazy thing. This is their delusion. They're mad at me for what Ty said. Why? I didn't say that. I told him not to say that. Ty came out and apologized for saying that on my recommendation. They probably shouldn't have said that. Not really a good thing to do. Don't ask the internet to do stuff like that. Not how it works. All right, next. Sorry. What do they do on that site? I seem to forget. Yeah. Again. Well, first of all, if you're going to, what do you want me to do? Tell the Kiwi Farms not to do that? They do that to everybody. Get over it. It's not because of me or Ty, by the way. That's a little presumptuous to think that Ty or I are somehow in control of what Kiwi Farms does. Kiwi Farms has existed long before Ty or I came on the scene, and they will exist long after we are reduced to lolcow status. Kiwi Farms, that's how they do. That's how they do. They have their own thing, and that thing is not in my control, and has nothing to do with what I do or say. But what do they do on that site? They literally laugh at people like you. That's what they do. You may seem to forget. You should check out your own thread, Ron. It's great. But that's what they do. They laugh. They laugh at you. Who admitted on your show that they sent you videos that there was an agreement on them to not share them? Literally no one. The fact that you misunderstood the agreement, or that your lawyers were so stupid that they didn't understand the language they were signing, that's on you, buddy. That's on you. There was no agreement not to share the videos that were recorded. There was an agreement not to broadcast live the depositions. Period. That's it. Go back and read it. Ask your lawyer about it. Ask why Casey Eric didn't identify the problems in that. But literally no one. That didn't even happen. I hope your buddy figures out just how bad you screwed him. Ron must have this problem. Usually if I screw someone, they know what's going on, right? Like they maybe I don't know, maybe it's an issue with Monica. Maybe there's no sensitivity in the roles. I'm not sure. But when I'm screwing someone, they're aware of it. Ron, if they're not, when you're screwing them, I apologize. Sorry you can't post the pictures of you both golfing or having a good time. But I doubt that will get better anytime soon. Oh, I bet it'll get better. I have a feeling it'll get better. Just fine, actually. At what point will you apologize to him for destroying him? Never. Never. I don't need to. I didn't destroy him. You did. Will it be before or after he starts writing checks? Again, never. I will never apologize to Vic or anything that I didn't do. The only thing I did was I insulted him, and that was my personal error, and I did apologize to him. For insulting my friend. I apologized. That's it. It's the only thing I owe him an apology for. I don't owe him an apology for your actions. Ron, you literally started this conversation and restarted it with insults. And if we go back, remember, Ron actually started this conversation by insulting me. Pathetic gamer who worships a voice actor. Which is weird because I never even heard of Vic before about February 11th in any real capacity. I had heard the name, or I'd seen the name on a YouTube video once. Him doing the Kakarot scream. That's it. That's it. Other than that, no idea who he was. I often wonder how safe your girlfriend is with your anger issues and your lack of self-awareness, or does her other boyfriend keep her safe? Whew. That was a little mean. But I'm with it. Gay and Still at Large says, for the record, the person who doxed Duchette and said no when Ty asked the farms to go after him. And since I know you're watching, Ron, the best thing you could do for humanity would be to go to Greenland. Yeah, exactly. The farms reacted extremely negatively to Ty's comment. And again, Ty's an old boomer. He doesn't understand how the internet works. He doesn't know Not Your Personal Army. He didn't know any of that. Like, I can only educate an old man on the internet so fast, right? Like, that's just how it is. And I'm a boomer. I'm an old man too. Like, I'm not saying that I have some special knowledge, but I was not able to impart my knowledge onto Ty in that way. I hadn't even considered that would happen. I thought it was a big mistake. And again, that's why I brought him back on to say, hey, I'm sorry about that. I didn't realize what was going on or whatever. Okay, and then he quotes himself, which is weird. Did you miss a section where I addressed this? I will add a photo to remind you. Thanks. Again, he didn't actually address this at all. He started the conversation and restarted with insults. Also, I want to point you towards another obvious point. You finish your previous message with a weak-minded attempt to frustrate me. Oh, does it? I bet it doesn't frustrate you at all. It is easy to see that you are using a diversion tactic because you can't answer the questions I have presented. If you guys in the audience are keeping score, the number of questions I have answered of Ron Toye's is somewhere around 0. Because his questions are completely pointless, and they're not even based in any sort of reality that I understand. So of course I'm not going to answer them. Why on earth would I answer this lunatic's questions? This is a weird thing. It's one of those entitlement things that I run in. I've never ran into as much as when I ran a YouTube channel. People believe they are entitled to your time, your response, time on your show, your platform. They believe you're entitled to stuff. Ron believes he's entitled to some sort of answer from me for his weird issues. No way. He's not entitled to a single thing. No way. He's not entitled to a single thing. Why on earth would I give him anything? I can't believe he hasn't figured this out. So, is that because you don't understand the question? Or is it that the answer you would give doesn't fit the narrative you had been pushing? What? Ron, if I'm the master manipulator in control of the narrative, why would I be worried about answering a question that runs contrary to the narrative? I would just answer it within the narrative. It's not like your questions are particularly crafty or damning or somehow above my ability to weasel my way out of it. If I am the master at manipulation that you say I am, I would simply be able to get around the question in the answer. It's funnier to not answer. I don't know how he does. I only say it openly, but it's funnier to not answer you. Smiley face. How mad does it make you that my ex is one of my biggest supporters? You beat a woman into submission. Congratulations, you weirdo. Also, who is their past divorce record sealed? Lots of people. Wouldn't it be interesting to find out what's in there? It's sealed. Wink face. No, maybe. Yeah, sure. Okay, here's the answer. Yes, it'd be interesting to find out what's in every sealed file. That's the nature of a sealed file, is that it would be interesting to find out what's in it. Of course it would be interesting. But it might also be mundane. That's the weird thing, right? It might be mundane. Sometimes court files are sealed because children's names are in them, for example. Who knows? I don't know why Vic's past divorce record is sealed. Never thought to ask. Don't care. Didn't even know it was sealed. Why do you know, Ron? Trying to dox people, Ron? Here we go. I doubt your ex is as big as your current. Very hard to imagine. Look. That was in response to his ex is one of his biggest supporters. So, take that as you will. I'm switching to Jack Daniels. Oh boy. Aw, you got stumped again, wink face. So then I asked him, Ron, have you ever milked a cow? Nope, I'm not a fan of cows. Press X to doubt. In general, unless it is in the form of steak or some other type of food. Oh, God. All right. Like, you've met these people. You've met Ron. I know all of you have met Ron in your life. Like how clever do they think they are, right? And how clever do they feel when they say something? Not unless it's in the form of steak or some other type of food. Like what? Like a hamburger? Like the only other type of beef? Is that what you're saying? Or is there some other type of cow that you prefer than beef? Oh, God. So then I respond, oh, I'm pretty good at it. That was just a side topic. Now, do you see the problem with threatening to harm someone and then pretending you wanted to help them? Back on track here. Back on track. I wasn't pretending. You see, you failed. I don't think I failed. I actually don't think I failed. I said about 7 months ago that what I hope to do is I hope that win or lose the lawsuit, because I think Vic's career wasn't going to last through the loss, or the fate of Vic's career would not coincide with the lawsuit. I said months and months ago, my goal was that whatever the outcome of the lawsuit, I hope Vic has fans and an opportunity to use his talents going forward. That's it. And I am pretty damn sure I succeeded in that. And if anyone wants to challenge that assertion, I will point you to Kitchener Comic-Con, in which, at a small convention, in a small city, an hour away from any major airport, Vic absolutely cleaned house because his fans want to see him. Still. in spite of everything. So, I think I've succeeded. Again, on the lawsuit, it's not up to me. I'm not the lawyer. I don't take defamation cases in Texas from Minnesota. It's not my style of law. Not my style of law practice. I know there are lawyers who do. I know there are lawyers who take cross-state representation cases because they think that they need to or whatever, or because they have a specialized practice. It's not what I do. I deal with stuff in my small town, and I'm very happy at the level of work that I'm doing. I really don't want more legal work. I have much more fun with a glass of whiskey, a camera, and a microphone than I ever had going into a courtroom. God, I hate Jack Daniels, though. Ah! Okay. You failed because your intentions were not genuine from the start. No, they literally were, and they've been openly stated on this channel from the get-go. You had some point you were trying to prove. What? What point? You leak conversations, but my email to him should haunt you because that was genuine. Your email that wasn't even to him? Your email to the Risen Bull Rangers? Ron, your fiance had his phone number and his email address, and instead you emailed someone else. What are you talking about? You never emailed him. You emailed literally anybody other than him. Even though you 100% had access to his most intimate contact information, which would be his damn cell phone number. And you emailed somebody else. Why? Because it was for show. You're a liar, Ron. It's easy to see this. If you've dealt with liars, you know how this works. And Ron, I'm a criminal defense attorney. I've dealt with plenty of liars, man. They lie to everybody because it's hard to admit you did something wrong, right? So it takes some time for them to come to the reality that maybe they did do the wrong thing. Sometimes they didn't. Sometimes they did. That's a plea agreement. When you go, well, maybe I did do this. And it's like, okay, you know, that there's a new detail here that you didn't tell me before. It makes this a little easier, right? Moist John. Moist, we gotta hang out again, man. That was great. Ron likes delicious cow meat. How about roast beef? Gross. Don't you dare. Oh my God. Okay. Can you put yourself in my shoes and imagine all I was going through? Oh, here it is. Here it is. I'm the victim. I'm the victim here. I'm the victim. What are you a victim of, Ron? What even is it? What victimhood are you claiming now? You're a white male with a white collar job with a white whale of a fiance. The only victimhood you have is that she won't marry you because you're too embarrassing to be married to. By the way, Ron is going to thank me someday when I shame that fatso into marrying him. That's the service I'm providing to Ron, and he doesn't even know it. I am going to shame that land whale into marrying this little rodent. Why? Because in spite of everything, I'm a giver. All we went through and still wanting to see someone get better. What did you go through? You didn't go through anything. You got One recorded prank phone call. What they went through. We made up lies about someone and people didn't believe us. Ah! What they went through. Oh my God. Ah! I'm going to have an aneurysm. And still wanting to see someone get better. Yeah, they wanted to see him get better. Their version of get better is broke, homeless, and dead. Like, that's it. If you want to see someone get better, you don't take away every support structure they have. You don't take away their job, because people need stuff to do while they get better. Here's a thought. Just a thought. Especially for an independent contractor, right? It's really hard to get better when you don't have income to pay for getting better. Getting better takes time and money. So even if you take Ron's thing, right? You say, oh, Vic is a very damaged man, blah, blah, blah. So you're saying he needs behavioral therapy, right? He needs a therapist. He has a mental health issue that he doesn't realize, and he needs to talk to someone and get better. All in all, he needs counseling. How do you pay for it? An independent contractor doesn't have employer health insurance. They're paying for their health insurance. So to get that behavioral health care, he would have to still have money and an insurance plan or just cash to do it. It's expensive. I don't know. Ron purports to have gone through therapy, but I have to imagine he didn't go to an actual psychiatrist, or he would know how much they cost. Pardon me a moment. This is live sneezing the interwebs. But if you take, and then the other part of Vic's persona, and this is obvious, if you spend more than 5 seconds with Vic, and this can even be from a distance, you can just watch from his line as you see him interact with people. If you take away Vic's fans, that is like dynamiting the structures of a building, okay? Vic does tons of conventions. Vic interacts specifically and intentionally with fans. Vic responds to emails that he doesn't need to respond to. He talks to people on phones and live streams that he doesn't need to do. Well, I was up at Kitchener. I'm having dinner with Vic and the concierge of Kitchener and Lady Rackets. We're all there. And someone sent Vic a message that someone they knew was going through some tough times and needed some encouragement. So what does he do? At dinner, at a business dinner, he pulls out his phone and he records a message to the person who is struggling, who is a fan of his, from another fan, right? Another fan said, hey, my friend here is struggling with some stuff and could really use some help. So he pulls out this phone, he starts recording a video. Says, hey, I heard you were having some tough times and you needed some encouragement. And I just want to encourage you and tell you that you're great and not to give up and to keep persevering, and you'll get through this dark time, and things will get better. And he just gives this sappy message for no reason. He has no reason on earth to do this. At dinner, he could have done it in his hotel room. He could have done it an hour later, but he didn't. He stopped dinner, and we all sat there and watched him record this little message to this person who he's never necessarily met. I don't know if he's ever met this person. I don't know if they came through a line at any point in history. I don't know anything about it. He just got an email and he responded with a video just to encourage someone. If you spent more than 5 seconds with this guy around fans, you'll know that removing him from his fans, this is why these people are such insidious monsters. They knew that removing him from his fans would be devastating. Not because they're his fans and they fawn on him, but because he builds real connections with them, something they've never understood. He builds real connections with them. He does things he doesn't have to and will never get paid for, and has anybody on earth would forgive him for ignoring that email or at least putting it off. Anyone on earth would say, he didn't need to do that. Not at dinner. He could do that in his hotel room later. And if he didn't get to it because he was at a work weekend, well, you know, too bad. And the person sending the email would think the same thing. Because all of those emails start with something like, hey, I know this is a long shot, but my friend needs help. And he does it anyway. These people are monsters because they know. It's not, this is Monica. She has done this with Vic for over a decade, something near 20 years. She knows that he's like this. And they knew it. Gonna help him. Let me help you. And here's how I help you as a professional helper, as a therapist. Let me get rid of all of your support structures and all of the things that you do during your day, and then let you focus on yourself while you feel like a worthless husk that everything has been taken from you. Oh my God, you're the best therapist in the world. Ron, find some dynamite and eat it. Sorry, that was a long tangent, but this is the level of disgusting that these people are, and this is why it took me 5 seconds to figure this out. I met him at Matsuri for the first time. I talked to him on the phone. You get kind of the measure. I watch him interact with person after person after person at Matsuri. And I'm like, oh my God, this guy's... He's really like this? He's really like this? All the stories people tell me aren't just overblown fluff. He's actually like this? Why in God's name is he like this? I don't know, but he is. He is, and it doesn't take any time to figure it out. Dynamite roll from Masu sounds really freaking good right now, Andrew. Oh my God. If he took ownership of his past and was doing the work he promised his fans and text me, I wouldn't treat him poorly. Oh, look at that. This is new. Ron realized a problem in his whole thing. Vic did this and did this. He took ownership of his actual past, not the pretend past, of his actual past. And text me. Oh, so now Ron is the arbiter. Ron is the arbiter. He suddenly has a new thing on the list. I would give him advice and tips on books to read. Oh my God, no! I would fly to Dallas and slap the phone out of his hand if he took one thing. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Vic, who, where is it? Where's that stupid book? Oh, dang it, I don't know where it is. Oh, here it is. Vic, who spends his entire career interacting with other people to get this self-flagellating nonsense, and to read it and go, oh, here's what I need to do. I need to develop a back pocket question. Social awareness strategies. Don't take notes at meetings. Oh, okay, I can better myself. Clear away the clutter. To be socially aware, you must be socially present and remove distractions, especially the ones inside your head. Ron is good at having an empty head, I'm sure. Live in the moment. Go on a 15-minute tour. Watch EQ at the movies. Look at how important these chapters are. This is an entire chapter. And it's not just this one. Another chapter. A page and a half. Another chapter, a page and a quarter. This is what Ron recommends, a page and a half. A page and 3/4. Oh God. This one is 1, 2 and a half and a billionth. This is gonna help people. Are we serious? This is a man who spends his entire day, his entire business day, talking to fans, dealing with people, being in social situations. He makes his entire living off of it. And he's supposed to read some little self-help book for munchkins. And that's supposed to, that's going to make him better. This is covered on The Biggest Problem in the Universe. And it's, I can't remember. I think it was Vic. Maybe it was Matt or Vic. Dick. I can't remember if it was Dick or Maddox who brought it in, but I think it was Dick. And it was the epiphany problem, where when you have an epiphany and you assume then that everyone else hasn't had the same epiphany. Like, you think that you're enlightened and no one else could possibly be because maybe they haven't read that particular book, but oh my God. Ryan Mercado says, Ron, it's okay. Just apologize, disappear for a while. Come back when the dust is settled, and when it's right, the Texas Department of Criminal Justice will welcome you back with open arms. Smiley, 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 smiley. Ugh. Okay, sorry. No one can walk the path for him that he needs to take to heal. Then what? Look at this. No self-awareness. No one can walk the path for him that he needs to take to heal. But right up here, he must do it the way I say he must. No one can do what he needs to do, but he must do it my way. Wait, what? What? I still have hope for you. While also being mad at you for being a jerk for over a year. And would gladly collect my judgment from you if he sued you for a horrible referral. Oh yeah. Good luck. Nothing on earth would be funnier than that lawsuit. Nothing on earth would be funnier than that lawsuit. But in the end, if you decided to actually dedicate yourself to being better, I would be there to help. Ron, I don't want help from someone who reacts first with violence and then with abuse. I don't want it. I would never want help from you. You are a damaged and terrifying human. You're a danger. I hope that you can't own guns because of your domestic violence issues in the past. I genuinely hope that you don't have guns, because I think that you are likely to murder someone. And I mean that as the biggest Second Amendment proponent you could possibly find. I think Ron is a legitimate danger to people around him. Most importantly, Monica Rial. Altares V says, guess who I am? That's right, a wife beater. I also bust fat nuts watching Big Drex T-bone my almost wife Monica Sweetall. I'm sorry for Sweatall? Sweat, not sweet. I'm sorry for the gruesome imagery, but I can't lobotomize you. Cheers, Mr. Ricotta, and sweet dreams. That's horrifying. Thank you for ruining my life. Nova Zero says, wait, did he just admit to understanding the fact that he was abusive to Vic? On the human element, you forgot to mention the odds of your judge getting chupped by another judge and losing an appointment to the appellate court. I did forget to mention, I didn't even know that that was a thing. I didn't know that that would happen that week, but it did. By the way, I've got a video. I was going to do one today, but my day was absolutely stuffed full, so I didn't get to. But I've got a video coming out tomorrow about Judge Chupp losing his election. Not that I'm bitter and not that I think it's funny, but I'm definitely going to make fun of how bad Judge Chupp lost. Just a preview. It's probably going to be like 5 minutes long, and most of it's going to be laughing. Judge Chupp got absolutely chupped in the election. JCF Data says, Vic knows how to better himself. He does it every day. He's a good person that does little and big nice things every day for people, even people he has just met. Absolutely. And JCF Data knows because we got to have some drinks with Vic, right? We got to hang out with him a little bit and at Kitchener, which was fantastic. Okay. Seriously, Ron, let me get a couple things out in the open. I don't go out to ruin people. I don't. Never have. Not my style. When people talk about wanting to brigade you, your fiance, when they talk about wanting to bother them at conventions, when they want to come in my show. By the way, when they want to come on my show after bothering your fiance or Jamie Markey or Chris Sabat at a convention, I say no. Because that's not my style. It's not what I do. It's not what I encourage. I laugh from over here away. I don't send you or your dumb fiance links to my show. I legit hope you don't watch it. I don't want that. I don't need that in my life. When I find out you do watch it, I laugh because it's so sad that you do. That's it. But I don't want you harassed. I don't want you removed from your job. I mean, the fact that you're a horrific abuser who threatens to murder people. I mean, maybe people in the Texas mortgage industry should know that, but that's not my job. I don't want people to do that. And in the end, they probably already know. They probably know already. They're probably okay with it because mortgage people can be terrible. I know. I've dealt with mortgage people my whole life. That being said, I don't want you kicked out of your job. I don't want Monica kicked out of conventions. I laugh because she's getting herself kicked out of conventions or whatever. But I don't want that. That's not what I do. All I want to do is laugh at you guys from the side, make a couple bucks entertaining people. That's it. That's it. What you guys choose to do, that's on you. But I would never accept help from you because you're a disgusting monster. And I don't need help from disgusting monsters. I'm not. I'm just a mild monster in that I make fat jokes about your fat fiance. And I make chin jokes about you. That's it. Grade school insults. Get over it. Why do you think I just rely on grade school insults? 1, it really bothers people like you. 2, because it's not that big of a deal. I'm not trying to ruin your life. I'm not out there. I'm not sending your divorce documents to everyone you do business with. I'm not doing that. I could do that. Seems a little excessive and a lot of work. I could just call you a dumb cuck. That would be easier, funnier, and would achieve my ends. That's it. I don't know how you don't understand this. You're the monster. You're the one who wanted to remove someone from society because he may or may not have banged your girlfriend years ago. While you were busy pounding your ex-wife with a universal remote, while you were busy threatening to chop up dogs, he may or may not have just railed your girlfriend out. I don't know if he did or not. I have no idea. But you're so ass mad over it, I figure he must have. And she must have liked it. I don't know. But you got so angry that one, you threatened to kill him. Or, well, no, you threatened to beat him up. Sorry, you didn't threaten to kill him. You threatened to physically assault him. And then you went on a tirade trying to ruin him, including contacting a convention to get him removed. What a baby move that is. Have you noticed I do not leak our conversations? No, I don't notice. Ron, you're in protected mode and you have literally no platform. No one notices anything because you're in a hug box. You have to know by now that I'm leaking them. It's because I mean what I say and I am not trying to say things to get attention. Bullshit. 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 This is, by the way, this is the biggest lie in the entire Ronversation right there. This is the most obvious and most egregious lie he could have possibly said. Bullshit. He knows with 100% certainty, he knows that I'm leaking this conversation. And his style of talking has specifically changed, and you'll see it as we go. It is specifically engineered to try and sow doubt amongst my audience. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to sow doubt amongst people who will see this chat. Absolutely. It's the clearest thing he's done ever. Matter of fact, people are upset with me for messaging back and forth with you, but none of them pay my bills, lol. Okay. Ron, they weren't mad at you for messaging with me. They weren't upset with you. They're telling you it's a bad idea, I'm guessing. Why are you doing this? Why would you do this? Everyone I've shown this to has said, why in God's name is he talking to you? You realize if any of this comes back on appeal, all of these things go directly into the lawsuit, right? Like, you understand that's what happens. But no, I mean, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. Your email was genuine. So, sorry, we're going way back to the email thing. Sure, Ron. Way to reach out after hearing you were going to get sued. Very convincing. If you remember, that email was on the 19th, in which I announced specifically that Vic had a law firm that was very aggressive. I announced it on GoFundMe. I believe I talked about it on the YouTube that night. That was the day. And everything happened after that. That email was well before anything was filed. Yes, things weren't filed until April. The announcement was made on February 19th. It's on the GoFundMe that you love to show. I guess I should probably hashtag show GoFundMe. All right, here we go, guys. Here's the GoFundMe for Vic Kicks Back. $265,275. Thank you to Roger Bjornrud, Angelo Rivera, Anonymous, Chelsea Kusar, Anonymous, Michael Renigan, and then T. Greg can't raise over 10K and still bankrupt is still there. I assume that's going to get refunded pretty soon. Maybe not. But thank you all for your donations. I have to point that out, and we can see right here the updates. February 19th. I got authorization for Vic to state any excess fees will be donated to one of the Salvation Army Dallas domestic violence and abuse shelters in Dallas County, Texas. Thank you so much for contributing. And then February 20th, Vic has issued a statement confirming retaining a law firm and confirming the GoFundMe. But this GoFundMe itself was created on February 19th right here, and talking about fighting back and all of this stuff. This was before Ron's thing came out, or his email occurred, if I remember right. I may have that timeline wrong, but I'm pretty sure I don't. Come on, bro. You know better. Don't bro me, bro. Don't you dare bro me. Not your bro, guy. Oh, 276,275. Sorry. I said that wrong. $276,275. Sorry, that's the Jack Daniels. You know the dates. And do I or have I ever exhibited signs of someone afraid of a lawsuit? Yes! Yes, you've exhibited tons of signs of someone afraid of a lawsuit. Specifically, coming out and doing this immediately after hearing that you were about to get sued. Oh my God. I knew he would win because we didn't lie. Whew. I knew it would be expensive, but some things are worth more than money. This is the person who has said he wanted to help Vic. All right? He is so willing to help Vic that he was willing to put 6 figures into an attorney rather than work things out. If you guys don't remember, I know you do, but if you don't, from February all the way through June, I was saying, contact Vic's lawyer. Contact me. I will help you get in contact with Vic's lawyer before his lawyer was publicly named for anything. I will help you get in contact. Settle this out. Work it out. Figure it out. Settlement is better. All you have to do is talk to him. Just settle. You can probably settle out really cheap if you do it right away. The first person to settle gets the best deal typically. I will help you make the contact with the guy in charge of Vic's legal team. I will do it. Settle, settle, settle. Don't do this. 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 This is the guy who is now claiming he wanted to help Vic. By the way, the settlement could have been Vic paying their legal fees. For them to say, we've talked it out with Vic, we've worked everything out, whatever it was. I don't know. There's all sorts of options. Talk, talk, talk before things get expensive. Just talk, talk, talk. You can fix this. You can heal the community. You can get Vic. You can come together. You can make statements. You can do these things. All of it. Just settle. You don't want a defamation suit. You don't want this. It's going to be a long time, and it's going to ruin everything. Settle, 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 settle. What things are worth more than money? It wasn't helping Vic. And it wasn't protecting your reputation. You could have done that in settlement. You could have stood by him in settlement. That was easy. Easy to do. You chose divide. You chose to spend 6 figures to split the anime community. It still is genuine, even after all this drama. If he apologized for bringing the lawsuit, why would he apologize for bringing the lawsuit? You people tried to ruin him. That was his only recourse. Acknowledge he made a mistake and failed to identify boundaries. Will go back on his plan to get help. How do you know? Condemn. Oh, he means and condemn the smear campaign against Monica. Here you go. There it is. Bend the fucking knee, Vic. Bend the knee to Monica. Vic, kiss the ring, Vic. Kiss the ring. Tell your fans to go to hell. Vic. This is it. Right there. It's always an impossible offer, right? It's always an impossible offer. It's always one more thing. I would still help him out. Oh, Ron, he could get no better help than from you. It was February 19th, bro. Get your facts straight. Also, does it even concern you that you had to learn about this stuff from other people because Monica didn't tell you any of this? Whew. Pretty sad level of trust. This bothers the shit out of him. Not at all. I do not need to know every single detail of her past. Ron, you better get that body count, buddy. We'll get Drexel on to fix Ron. You better find out that body count. She is an independent human who can share or not share whatever she chooses. This is why Ron will never be married. In a successful marriage. This is it. I don't know. I'm going to start a second channel soon. And on it, I will discuss non-legal topics. And I think one of those topics is going to be how to be married. Because I see so many people who have no idea, and Ron is one of them. Ron, if you have to learn about an assault on your spouse from a guy on the internet or from a court filing, she doesn't trust you. It's not that she's independent and strong. It's that you are not worth the trust. I don't know how to explain this to you. But Ron, you mentioned Tom Brady and Drew Brees and these famous quarterbacks before. Now, you have been married in 2 failed marriages and 1 perpetual engagement. I have been married for almost 16 years in a highly successful and loving marriage built on trust and respect. Maybe take your own pills, Ron, and listen to me. Monica doesn't respect you. You can fix this, and not with this. This is not how you fix respect from your spouse, you idiot. Monica doesn't respect you, and she doesn't trust you. And the reason I know that is because I knew some of these things before you did, and that is really horrifying to me. It is personally horrifying to me as a marriage advocate, as a man, and as a husband who loves his wife very much. Trust matters. It's integral. And you don't have it. She doesn't trust you, and that's terrifying for your relationship. Drexel would tell you to get out. Get out. Get out right now. You don't have it. She will cheat on you. That's Drexel advice right there. If she's not already getting railed on the side, she will. You know why? She doesn't trust you with important information. And it's public knowledge that she doesn't. I am proud of her being brave enough to speak up. Oh, so brave. But also say, before any lawsuit was filed, in her public statement that she hopes he gets help and in time help him rebound. Yes, pithy throwaway statements aren't actual real things. This is a PR move. And everyone knows it, Ron. Everyone knows that this is a PR statement that you tack on people. I really hope they get the help they deserve. It's like you dunk them through the basketball hoop and they land on the ground, and then you end up, when you drop down from the rim, your foot ends up on the back of their head and their face gets shoved into the dirt a little farther. That's what that message is. I hope they get the help that they need. Is a reinforcing, self-serving statement to suggest that they really are as broken as you say. It's not a real thing, Ron, and no one believes it. Nova Zero says, Ron, midway into this, your fiance is going to gaslight you until you murk yourself. Then she'll pin all the damage on you. Buddy, take some stock. Seriously, it's funny, but it's a little sad. No man deserves mad cow disease. That has to blow your mind. No, it literally doesn't. It's only the most obvious thing you would say at the end of destroying someone is, I hope they get the help that they need. Oh my God, what a send-off that is. It's a basic tactic. Oh God. People being good people. You're not good people. You're terrible people. Imagine thinking you're good people after all of this. You convinced someone to sue people who spoke the truth and failed to warn him of the consequences. This is the most... He can't get over... He's so mad. He wants me to admit to this. I, of course, never will admit to this because I didn't convince Vic to sue anybody. He didn't ask me if he should. I don't know what else to say. It wasn't even in our discussion. Ron thinks I convinced Vic to sue people. I don't know what else to do about that. It's really mad that I won't say this. He wants me to say this. This is, if you haven't figured it out, this is Ron's entire goal. This is his primary goal, is to get me to admit to this. I can't. I don't lie. People being good people. I'll take narcissism for 800, Alex. Sorry. No wonder you'll never get married. She doesn't and shouldn't trust you anywhere near enough. You're unhinged and much safer when she always has the option to walk away, especially when you start hitting her. Oh, and he will. Make no mistake. It's a bad day at work. It's getting stuck in traffic. It's her wanting a dog or whatever it is. Something will trigger him. He will hit her. Because he's an abuser. Conversations with you are like talking with a teenager. Do you notice the pattern in your behavior? I'm surprised you don't. Like, how long have we been doing this, Ron? You still haven't figured it out. Ron, this isn't pretend land where people have to act like you matter. You're a garbage human who beats women and threatens to murder children. You got mad at your fiance for not telling you much of anything and took it out on a guy you're jealous of. It's really embarrassing. Think about your pathetic outlook. Some guy on the internet makes fun of you and you take it out on someone else. Like, literally, this is what he's doing, right? He blames Vic for what I say. Admittedly, he admits to this. He admits to blaming Vic for me. Vic has never, ever endorsed what I say. In fact, when I asked him to come on the show, he said no. Because my show's too inflammatory. That's okay. And it annoyed me for sure, but at the end of the day, it's him, not me. He has to deal with the fallout for himself. I get it. But think about that. They're still mad at Vic for me. What? Because Vic spent time with me at conventions where we both happened to be? Well, that's the ringing endorsement? That's him doing, but no, of course not. They want Vic to tell the internet how to think. Something Vic is very bad at, by the way. Everybody's bad at telling the internet how to think. Everybody on earth. Anybody who's ever said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tell the internet how to feel on a subject is the dumbest human being on the planet. Lol, think about who you raise money for. Vic, the guy you said you wanted to help. People said stuff on the internet, so let's crowdfund money over hurt feelings. It's not hurt feelings, you idiot. It's a ruined career. It's a ruined life. It's a guy who you tried to get to kill himself. There's a huge difference. It wasn't hurt feelings, man. You tried to have him Epstein. Wait, no, Epstein didn't kill himself. You tried to have him Seth Rich didn't kill himself. You tried to have him, whatchamacallit? Robin Williams himself. That's what you wanted. Or that Linkin Park guy. Chester. You are a free speech advocate trying to silence people executing their constitutional right. Never, ever, ever have I tried to silence you. Ever. Never advocated for people to flag your accounts. Never tried to keep you from a convention. Never tried to stop what you said on Twitter. Never, ever have I tried to silence you. Ever. Neither has Vic, by the way. No one has silenced them. No one has asked a court to silence them. Vic could have. Vic could have asked for restraining orders. Vic could have asked for injunctions on them tweeting about the case. Vic could have done a lot of stuff. Never. No one has tried this. But since we are talking ex-wives, have you had a chance to speak with Celise? I don't know who Celise is. I wonder why his divorce records were sealed. I guess Celise is Vic's ex-wife? I don't know. Maybe. You do wonder why his divorce records were sealed. Here's the funny thing, Ron. I bet if I asked Vic, he'd tell me. I bet if you asked Vic, he wouldn't. That must burn you up. Here's the real trick. I don't care. But I bet his divorce records have nothing to do with beating her. But your divorce records include court findings of family violence and that family violence is likely to continue. Because you are an abusive piece of shit. No one's ever accused Vic of abusing them. Weird. I wasn't upset at Monica for being assaulted by Vic. I wasn't upset that she held that truth to herself and didn't share it with me. Bullshit. This is the second biggest lie. Of course you were upset with her. She is entitled to share what she chooses with me. Wrong. She's not, Ron. This is an unhealthy relationship, and you are a side piece. I hate to tell you. This is not healthy. If you want a successful marriage, take it from someone who's in one. This is not okay. This is not okay. She is entitled. Her past is her past. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Not if you're getting married, man. If you're getting married, her past is your past. You don't understand that. That's embarrassing. Is none of my business. No, it's all of your business. You have to know how not to take nothing else from this, Ron. If your fiance was assaulted by someone, legitimately, and she doesn't tell you about the assault, you don't know how to not trigger her. Maybe it's the way you grab her. Maybe it's something you say. Maybe it's the tone of your voice. Maybe it's your kink where you wanna, have her wear fleshlights as socks. I don't know. Whatever it is, you have to know. That's trust. You have to. Her past is your past because her past is your future. Idiot. It's none of my business, and she is free to share as little or as much about it as she chooses. No, she's not. No, she's not. The whole thing about a marriage is it is an exchange of freedoms. It's a commitment to each other. And part of that commitment is honesty and openness. And if you don't have honesty and openness in your marriage, you don't have a marriage. You have an arrangement. It's different. It's the Drexel view of marriage, which is broken. Guys, I love Drexel to death. I do. He's my brother in many ways, and he's a very good friend. His views on marriage are skewed. They're wrong. They're incorrect. Because he doesn't understand what a marriage is, and that's okay. It's messed up by his experiences. I get it. He's been burned, and it's not my job to fix that. That's not a thing. That's real. But let me tell you, as someone with a marriage that has been through a lot, any marriage that's 15 years or longer has been through a lot. Any marriage that's 5 years or longer has been through a lot. Okay? Someone with a marriage who's been through a lot. It's not a contract. It's not an agreement with a scheduled exchange of goods and services that you do. It's not. It's a commitment that takes work, and it takes trust, and it takes disclosure, and it takes openness and honesty. If you don't have those things, then you have something else, and that's okay. Lots of people have something else and make that work too, and then they can get rid of it. That's fine. Ron doesn't understand. Drexel doesn't understand. Drexel doesn't want to understand. That's okay. Ron seems to want to understand. It's a shame that he's not going to listen. Drexel is a Chad. You're right. And Drex does speak the truth. He's just incorrect about a marriage. That's okay. He's not looking for one. No one has to look for one. That's fine. That's fine. That's why I don't sit and try and correct him when we're on stream. It's not my job. It's not important. His perspective is his. What he wants out of life is different than what I want. If you want a marriage, I can tell you how that works. I can tell you how much it sucks when things go wrong. I can tell you all of the stuff about it. But that's not why Drexel's on the show. And that's something Ron doesn't understand. You are free to have any opinion of me that you would like. Oh, thanks for the permission, Ron. I didn't really need it. I will just enjoy the fact that you will be alive with the memory that you encouraged a man to sue and he lost. Nope. Filed an appeal. No, I didn't file an appeal. And now this case will be used in future defamation claims as a source to cite to. Good. You have been shown to be a pitiful excuse of a journalist and a lawyer. Neither of those things is true. I haven't done any lawyering in this case. And as far as journalism goes, every fact I've reported on has been accurate. Every single one. Including the Kamehacon contracts and texts. Including AzumiCon including every single fact about you and your horrific fiance. Not just my opinion, but of your colleagues too. None of those people are colleagues of mine. I don't know how he defines colleagues. Does he think that because someone's a lawyer, they're my colleague, they're my peer? Never encountered these people in my entire life. Lawyers from around the world have laughed at your ineptitude from over a year. Oh, Ron. Lawyers have been laughing at you and your lawyer and everyone for over a year, too. Just not vocal on Twitter about it. Sorry. And lots more than a bunch of reject lawyers are laughing at you. The important thing is, none of the people laughing at me are critical to my business model. But a lot of the people who don't like you and your fiance are critical to her business model. Maybe you should reevaluate that exchange. Every day you will wake up with the knowledge that you are the laughingstock in a career field you paid money to be a part of and spent time learning about. Nope. Literally not. There are so many lawyers in America that it is a struggle for any of them to get work. Any lawyer, it's a struggle to get work. And billable hours matter to almost all of them. Me? I represent my clients for free. Why? Because of this show. Am I a laughingstock to anybody in my sphere? No. The lawyers who deal with me, they don't laugh at me. They have to deal with me. Prosecutors who deal with me, they really hate what I do. They hate it. So, none of these people are my colleagues or peers. And it doesn't bother me at all that Mike Dunford, who will never practice, doesn't like what I say. It will never bother me. I'll laugh at it. I think he's an idiot. But none of this stuff will ever matter in my career. It's great. It's amazing. And they have no impact on my show either. That's the funniest part. You can't even manage to impact my show with a brigade of lawyers on Twitter. You can't do it. It's phenomenal to watch. Enjoy the whiskey and rage. I literally do. Every night. That's what I get to do. That's what my job is. Oh, God. Cocky Onsai says, tell me, why do I have this strange feeling that Ron's doing this with the help of a certain Wheezebox excuse of a law monkey? God, I hope he is paying Lemoyne for this. Oh, nothing would make me happier. Seems like this is orchestrated for some reason. Oh, and by the way, Jay Woolman is a garbage human. Jay Woolman, there's an article out there about Jay Woolman being a fascist, right? Jay Woolman representing racists. It's so great. T. Greg Duchette hired the man who defends the Nazis. T. Greg Duchette, fighter for the people, anti-racist T. Greg, hired the racist lawyer Jay Woolman. That's what they were saying when Alex Jones hired him. That he was a horrific racist, that he was terrible. It's pretty funny. All right, here we go. So this was Monday. No one tried to silence you. Vic had several opportunities to use legal means to silence you, especially your dumbass, and he never did. The silencing is a false narrative cooked up by one of you dummies, and it rings hollow in the face of reality. Vic sought compensation for the damage you caused, never to silence you. That's what defamation claims are, compensation for loss. You weren't upset that Monica was assaulted by Vic, probably because she wasn't ever assaulted by Vic. Because you've said about 1 million times here for me to, it's supposed to say, put myself in your shoes about a loved one being assaulted, and I'm supposed to be mad about it, right? He said, put yourself in my shoes. How are you supposed to feel? How are you supposed to react? Now you're claiming you weren't mad? Pick a story, idiot. Do the lies even bother you? They don't. I don't think they do. Ron, why would it bother me that some random lawyers on Twitter disagree with me? I mean, I know you get bothered by people disagreeing with you, but why do you give random internet people so much power over you? Aren't you the one advocating emotional intelligence? Not the best representative, sport. I respect the opinions of people I respect. None of your brigade of law failures have done anything to earn it. What's funny is you have no idea who any of them are or why they should be respected either. You just like them because they agree with you. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. Here we go. So I quote him here. I wasn't upset at Monica for being assaulted by Vic. I wasn't upset that she held that truth to herself and didn't share it with me. She is entitled to share what she chooses with me. Her past is her past. It's none of my business, and she is free to share as little or as much about it as she chooses. Let me just hammer home that this is why you're a routine failure at marriage. Take it from someone who has been married longer than all of your failures, including Monica, combined. Also take it from someone who would never threaten to murder a spouse, an ex, a judge, a child, or anyone else for that matter, you weird psychopath. When you want to get out of the friend zone, send me a message. I'll teach you how to actually earn the respect and trust of your spouse, rather than just being a side piece who can be stuffed in a box when it's inconvenient. Look at that response. 17-0. 17-0. Oh boy. Woo. E1337 Neo. Hey Nick, take a pair of Sawbucks for the whiskey fund. My folks enjoyed a fulfilling oh my god, 47-year marriage that was sadly ended by Dad's passing last year. The fact it lasted that long proves they were doing something right. Absolutely, buddy, and cheers to your folks for that. All right. I'm gonna read just a bit more, and then we're gonna wrap up for the night. Because we'll finish these up probably tomorrow. I don't want to. We have a good chunk left still, and I don't want to sit on the stream for a lot longer to do it. Plus, I have a feeling he'll be talking to me tomorrow anyway, so we'll get more. All right. I like how I've been handling things. If I ever want to look like a complete fool, you would be my first call. But until that day, I will be a reminder at how bad you are at this. Smiley face. Oh no. Oh no. Sure, Ron, you look great. Nobody on earth believes you're a lying, abusive asshole. So, there you go. That's where we're going to leave it for tonight. That's where we're going to wrap this thing up. Let's go back to this GoFundMe. Here we go. $276,280. Thank you to Jesse Fritz for the recent contribution. That's where we're gonna leave this one tonight. We are gonna do super chats. We're gonna do Twitch. Both of those things are happening. Wavy Lays YT says, didn't Ron say that he uses emojis to regulate his emotions? So literally every emoji is him being triggered then? Lol. Yes. Yes, it is. Isn't that funny? It's just fantastic. He just flat out told the world how his weakness, and then he displays it over and over, and he didn't even attempt to regulate or change that. Eagle-Lone, you want the knives and sword? Well, I hope you're ready to bid on them, because I'm thinking of auctioning them very, very soon. These guys. I'm thinking we might do a live silent auction. I've seen an artist I know does the live silent auctions for charity, for art, where he says, okay, it's a silent auction, and then you send messages to them, over like a period of time, and they'll like kind of update the price as it goes or whatever. They'll tell you too low, something like that. So, that's the medium-sized knife. That's the medium-sized knife. How does EVS do them? Does he just do them live on the show? Here's the small one. If you're a Star Trek fan, look at the quality. Like, these are not flimsy little stamped out things. These are forged. They're thick. They're weighty. They're balanced. They're balanced kind of. This one's balanced back on the handle, so it's really easy to use, I guess, if you want to use it. They're sharp. Let's see, do I have something I can? Hold on, I gotta find out if there's something I can actually chop up here. Let's see. All of the paper I have around has like sensitive information on it. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Okay, I found some garbage. Woo! Chercoon just attacked the microphone. We've got the Minnesota Family Council here. Sorry. Dear Nicholas, is this the beginning of the end of women's sports? Seems such a strange question to be asking just a few weeks after the U.S. women's national team won their 4th World Cup title. More and more we're hearing stories of women being defeated, pummeled, or simply forced out of competitions by men pretending to be women. Why didn't I read this sooner? This is hilarious. Something has to be done. Our sisters, daughters, and granddaughters are counting on us to stand up for women's athletics just like previous generations did when they fought for Title IX. Title IX? Oh my God, they had me until that. Okay, anyway. Oh man. Oh no, it's not super sharp. It could probably use some sharpening. Well, here I was hoping we'd get a little more. Oh, there we go. It's got some cutting ability. All right, anyway, whatever. Probably not the best demonstration, but it could also be ground down into a finer edge as well. I know, complete failure. I probably should have play tested this before doing it on stream. We're doing it live. We're doing it live. Oh yeah. They need to be sharpened a bit, okay? They're not razor sharp. They are technically decorative, so I guess. But there's a lot of material to work with. Here, how about this? It serves its function. Anyway. Oh, never ever do anything. Never do anything important. Okay. So here we go. We've got, let's go ahead and go through super chats. I need a whetstone. It's not mine. You guys can sharpen it all you want. You guys can sharpen the knife. It's your knife, right? When you buy it. Okay. Whatever. All right. Oh, everything in life is just a joy. Everything's a joy. And, you know, whatever. Okay, we're going to do this now. And then we're going to go to Twitch, and it's going to be great. New York Gamers Federation. Hey, what's up, Ken? This was cool meeting you at Kitchener Kitchener Comic Con, man. Sent you an email as per our discussion. Hope to catch up with you soon on the matter. Blessings to you and the family. May the courts of Twittener always bring show material. Keep fighting the good fight. CD-ROM 1019. You. Next is Night of Hopex. Says, Ron, you horse effing ass pipe of a human. Listen to me, mufficker. It's your parents' fault you were born human shit, not Nick's, Vic's, or anyone else's you hate. And you should try to blame them instead of us. Then go F yourself, Ron. Do you understand? Wow. The Coke Master says, hey, Nick, got an essay. So I'll need to make do with the replay. Sorry, not the reply, the replay. Have you heard of Armed Scholar? He's a lawyer who makes Second Amendment videos. He recently did one about Guedes versus ATF. Thoughts on the Supreme Court's decision on that? I haven't read that. I don't know. I'll have to check it out. Maybe I could reach out to him. Armed Scholar? Sounds interesting. Josh says, as a clinician who deals with men in prisons, he seems to present with female typical covert aggression, a high level of denial, volatility, and defense, whilst presenting as well-adjusted. Actively deflects, projects, rationalizes all of his actions. Josh, you sound like a terrifying man. I would love to talk to you. If you want to talk on the show sometime, under anonymity, of course, reach out to me via email. I would love to talk about your impressions of Ron and me. I'm not immune. I'm not immune. I'm watching videos, says, much better than Ghost Politics, Streamlabs. Anyway, what is your favorite rye whiskey? My favorite rye is Whistle Pig 10-year. If you like rye. I've had Bullet and Wild Turkey, but I think Templeton is the best I've had. Just tried it now. Try some Whistle Pig. The 10-year is pretty expensive, but they have the farm stock, and they have another cheaper rye than the 10-year. The 10-year is like 130, something like that. But you can get one for like 65, 70 bucks, I think. And then the farm stock is even cheaper. Duke Lacrosse didn't do nothing. Says Soye, the wife beater, seems to be whining harder than usual in these texts. He's cracking, dude. Also help Dick sue that TI committing figgot Maddox. Oh, I'd love to. I'd love to. Kay says, how would you feel if Ron challenged you to a fight and he beat your ass? I would feel interesting. I don't know. I guess I would feel some pain. Maybe you would. I don't know. It depends on the rules of the fight, right? Who knows? We'll probably never know. I don't think Ron will challenge me to a fight. Kay says, the way he types in DMs is so obnoxious. Like he thinks that he's in an actual debate. You don't win one-on-one arguments like this. He's sucking at debating too, by the way. You're only there to scream at them, trying to make them feel bad about themselves. Artard. So, agree. And then Kay says a couple more. The only reason he's talking to you has to be under advisement of his lawyer to bait out something that can drag you into the case. I'm sure you know that already. No, I don't know what you're talking about at all. No way he would keep doing this otherwise. And then Kay follows up with, you say a lot that they wanted him dead. I haven't seen anything that says they wanted that specifically. No, it's my inference. It's my personal inference that they wanted him dead based on me meeting Vic and within 5 seconds seeing how removing him from the industry would treat him, would affect him. Because of how he interacts with and deals with people, removing him from people at a time, and his career, and then collapsing his reputation, which he takes very seriously, collapsing all that down at the same time, and knowing him, I think they meant for him to kill himself. Absolutely. I believe that 100%. But that's my inference. Do you have something behind the scenes info you can't confirm that points to it? Sort of. Nothing directly from them. I don't have some great conversation where they say, oh, we want him to kill himself. No. You seem oddly confident when you say it like it's beyond hyperbole. Oh, I'm 100% confident. I am. Let's do this. Just so we're clear, I believe with every single fiber of my being that people who knew Vic for over a decade, when they went ahead with this plan, they knew that there was a good possibility that Vic would kill himself. And they were 100% okay with it. To reiterate, I believe 100%, no hyperbole, not a shred of sarcasm, cynicism, anything else. I believe, based on my interactions with Vic and knowing that these people knew him for over a decade and worked closely with him on several projects and saw how he dealt with people, that doing this, that they knew that doing this would cause him the potential to kill himself. And they were okay with it. And not only that, but they thought that it was likely that it would happen. I 100% believe that. So, just to be clear, now I can't point to a conversation where they say it or anything like that. But I tell you my truth on that. I 100% believe it. Jay says he made a mistake and failed to identify boundaries. How does that square with being a pedo, sexual predator, sexual assaulter of hundreds, sexual deviant with a clear history, and a robber? Ron is a liar, inconsistent, and backpedaling. Absolutely. Smother Me in Anime Thighs says, Ooh, I hate that fat B, Monica. But I think you're right on the money when you say that Ron is going to end up hitting her one day, and it makes me want to kick his ass just imagining him beating another chick, no matter who she is. Guess I'm just a toxic male. Is Ron trying to get me to defame them or something so they can sue you? Maybe. Good luck. I'm sure suing me will go very well for them. Some nobody says horse porn continues the horsening. RW Bimby says whiskey review streams get a little loosey-goosey. From time to time. Mario Carter 13 says Vic would prefer Studio 362436. Infinity 223 says, oh boy, another Cuckversation stream. Grabs popcorn. Don't do that. Don't have popcorn on stream. Heinrich Berndowski says, have you introduced Ty to Ram Ranch yet, Nikki? No, I haven't. I'll email it to him. Bria Rose says, grateful to you, Ty, and his team, and Lady Rackets for helping Vic. Heart everyone who donated. Thank you. Hey, thanks. Nix Hex says, what's a butt for? For pooping, silly. Some nobody says we're gentler on Ron than Monica's horse spagoot. Andrew War Snowboard says a wise man once said, this is reality, not Twitter. Never met a wise man. Bad Vibe says Ron and Monica are the ones failing to consider injury to others and lack of empathy for others due to the lies they are telling. These are things that keep the cycle of abuse going, just FYI. Oh, yeah. Gelth Walker says, you manipulated me into gifting you this chat. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Lord Blackwind. The only wind police have tried to shoot. The only time I've heard Nick lie is when he says Jack Daniels is garbage. That's not a lie. Oh, God, I hate it. Stars Girl Forever says, here's a thank you for drinking swill and reading mindless drivel so we, your loving fans, don't have to. Taking hits for the team for the win. Hey, thank you. Uncivil Law sent just $1 donation. Thank you. But then a $5 chat that says, no problem. Take your time. Love your work. Do you? I hope so. That's great. We'll see. Now, see, this is the thing. I genuinely believe Uncivil Law, even though I know some people are mad about his opinions, but it's okay to have different opinions. It really is about some of this stuff. And I do hope to have conversations with people who can have different opinions, but still, at the end of the day, like each other. That's great. I'm not going to review Jack Daniels Rye anytime soon, Eagle Loan. The DCV Titan says, Ron has been divorced 3 times, twice from a pair of very lucky ladies and then from reality. Probably shouldn't have done that last one. I'm watching videos, says, love how you show how complex the legal system is. Hope you look at Streamlabs chats. I sent one earlier. Also, best whiskey under $100. Under $100. I think Lagavulin 16 is still under $100, but just barely. If it's not, go with a Dalwhinnie Distiller Edition. It's a great whiskey. It's also not smoky. If you don't like the smoky, peaty whiskeys, go for that Dalwhinnie. It's beautiful. Sprite, if you want an American whiskey, go with Basil Hayden's. And another Scotch that is under $100 and is great is Balmore 15 Darkest. Oh, beautiful. Okay, sorry. Vladimir M. Ivanovich says, but is it okay to be white? I think so. For now, at least. Maybe not soon. They're trying to make it unokay, but I'm good with it. Sprite Cola says, Ron acts like Generation 1 Starscream. Gets caught lying, resorts to violence, gets owned, tries to weasel out of it. Rekieta Tron cares not for your plight. Tempest TV says, the only time Ron has outmatched anyone was when him and Monica were wearing the same fluffy pink G-string. You just made me sad. Live. Why? Ugh. Some nobody says, not Ron's fault. Clydesdale's G-spots arm length in. Mario Kart 13 says, Ron likes cows so much he's engaged to one. Some nobody says, plot twist, she'll start kicking him in the stall. The horse jokes are killing me. Stop it. Mario Kart 13 says, there she be sea salty if you recommend a diet book. Red Philosophy says, Nick, I'm convinced Ron's therapist couldn't even help him, since he's clearly a narcissistic sociopath who believes he's like God and you need to redeem your sins through him. Oh God. Yeah, no, I don't think he can be helped. I agree with you. No One Important says, oh, I get it. Of course he can read a book a day when it's only freaking 90 pages and it's all in old granny font. He sure is big brain. Oh yeah. Yeah, I can read a Bernstein Bears book a day too. Infernal Iris says, Ron is so desperate to destroy lives and then help them so he can be the hero of his own story. It's pathetic. I think that's true. Changus Khan says, first Mini Mike bails out, then Chup loses his election. Perhaps this is a good year after all. Now, Chup is still a judge. He just didn't win his appeals court election. That's some people are confused about that. But again, I'm gonna do a short video on it. Not at all laughing or mocking Judge Chup. Some nobody says he just wants non-horse interaction. Sad man. Mario Kart 13 says, Ron, my wife's been very remote lately. Soye. Alex Britton says, I'd just like to remind everyone that as of last night's stream, Ron Toye is a synonym for bundle of sticks. Also, Ron Toye is a raging Ron Toye. Fantastic. Laryl says, see that beard Ron has? A tiny hericle grew out every time he abused women because that's the only time he felt like a man. Oh, God. Chengiz Khan says, I'm waiting for Monica's inevitable remote beating. R.W. Bimby says, wait till Monica leaves Ron and accuses him of abuse. Ron should be scared of that. But that'll be her truth and her history, and it's none of my business, right? Right, Ron? Matt Schrodinger says, Chair Kun has gone too far this time. How dare he assault Mike Chan? Shameful display. Rural says, the knives are sharper than Ron's wit. That's true. Catch you later, Gelth Walker. Vine the Cold One says, more dying in Doom? Good luck, friend. Yeah, I gotta beat it. I gotta beat it so I can move on. Matt Schrodinger says, just like Ron, I have to beat it so I can move on. Matt Schrodinger says, unlike Ron, Nick only beats bad arguments. No One Important says, so Nikki, did you enjoy that GIF I linked you? I hope you had loving dreams of that. Gross. No. I don't like any GIFs anybody ever sends me. All the GIFs people send me are horrible. Finn Frog says, Ron isn't human, he's an Amber Heard. Perception Check. Hey, what's up, Perception says, if Ron doesn't work out, Cenk Uygur would probably be interested in Monica for her horsey attributes. Oh, no, Cenk, no! The only person who lost worse than Chup in the election was Cenk. Aramin says, here's a corona-tainted tip. I'm going to be stuck at home for 11 more days. I'm going to need you to help keep me entertained. Oh, that I can definitely do, Erica. Man, I really hope you're okay, and I hope the sickness abates very soon, and that you're back to everything and safe. I really do. Christopher French says, got one of your shirts. I'm hoping to get it soon. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for that. All right, guys, that is the stream. Those are the chats. Let's hit this outro music. Hopefully you guys still like the outro song. And Lord Blackwind says, any plans to do a Fallout 1 playthrough as one of the PCs is a lawyer? Oh God, no, I don't. I don't have any plans to do a Fallout 1 playthrough because I didn't know that, but maybe I should. Well, I'll think about it. For now, it's Doom, and then probably Dark Souls 2 or Sekiro, and then Doom, the new Doom, I think. And then more Dark Souls-esque games. Those are just really popular on Twitch. People seem to like them. Siren Jag says, you all right? Learned it by watching you. You all right? I learned it by watching you. So there you go. All right, guys. Hope you guys have a fun evening. If you do come over to Twitch, that'll be great, and I will love to interact with you there. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow. We will wrap up Ronversations and probably have another topic, depending on how much he talks to me tomorrow. I don't know. He is a weirdo. Bad Dragonite says the Discord is having fun with your face. Oh, criminy. I'm sure they are. Sure they are. Where? Oh wait, I'm in the wrong. This is probably. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Oh god. Oh god. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out tonight. You have a good night, and hopefully I'll see you over on Twitch. Peace. Peace.
So So pour out a glass for the tea post on Twitter as we hear Lost-Planning tonight. From the white shores of Nairn to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the thought better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed